Hello viewers, welcome to Nagaland TV. This is Rovinho Lama and you're watching English Primetime. Now headlines. The Nagaland government warns Civil Secretariat and Directorate official that they shall not be permitted to join duty if they are not vaccinated. As many as 22 people have died in rain-related incident in Mumbai, Chimpur and Vikhroli area as heavy rain lashes in Mumbai. As Nagaland TV unearthed bad road condition in Nagaland this time, people residing in Lumti village expressed resentment over poor road condition. NC Chief Sharad Pawar meets PM Modi ahead of monsoon session of Parliament spark. Speculation of alliance among NCP and BJP. Odd-even system for movement of private vehicles in Nagaland on day Wednesday and Friday for odd number vehicles, Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday vehicles with even numbers. 3 athletes tested positive in Tokyo Olympic Village. Their identities have not been revealed. NL, no vaccine, no salary. Now news in details. The Nagaland government on Saturday announced that employee posted in the Civil Secretariat and Directorate office shall not be permitted to join duty if they are vaccinated or fail to provide COVID negative certificate every 15 days. It was further mentioned that if the employees do not abide the rules, then salaries of employees will also be stopped beyond July 31. The decision was taken on Friday in the interest of public health and safety. The Nagaland government on Saturday issued a fresh order of transfer and posting of 11 IPS officers of the state in rank of DG, ADGPs, IGPs and DIGP with immediate effect. Rupin Sharma IPS, who was earlier posted as the DG of Border Affairs, has now been posted as the DG of Prisons and SG, CD and SDRF. Renchamo P. Kikon IPS has been appointed as the ADG Admin, who was earlier posted as the ADG Law and Order. Sandeep M. Tamgarke IPS has been appointed as ADG Law and Order, who previously served as the ADG Admin. Liremo Tsofoy Lota IPS will now serve the government as IGP of Armed Battalion NAP, earlier posted as IGP of the TRG and Border. Imli Sunap IPS, who was earlier posted as IGP NPTO, has been posted as IGP CID. Richard Yimto IPS has been posted as the IGP of Village Guard, who was previously serving as the IGP PHQ. Zekotso Mero IPS has been posted as the IGP NPTO, earlier served as IGP CID. Jasbir Singh IPS has been appointed as the IGP of L Law and Order, who was earlier posted as IGP of TRG Border. Sonia Singh IPS, who served the government as IGP of Armed Battalion IR, has now been posted as IGP OG HR 5J. Temsuba Iyer IPS will now be serving as the IGP of Vigilance under PHQ, who was earlier posted as IGP of Armed Battalion IR. Vikas Keteria IPS will hold the current charge of DIG Range NAP of Dimapur. Nagaland has reported 5 more COVID-19 deaths and 100 new positive cases on Saturday. The Health and Family Welfare Department said 60 people recovered from the infection during the day. The Health Department said 36 people tested COVID-19 positive in Dimapur, 2 in Kifiri, 25 in Kohima, 3 in Longland, 12 in Mokokchung, 1 in Mon, 5 in Peren, 4 in Pek, 4 Tuensang and 8 Woka. Of the 60 recoveries, Dimapur registered 6, Kifiri 1, Kohima 9, Mokokchung 23, Mon 1, Peren 5, Pek 2 and Tuensang 13. So far, 510 people succumbed to the infection in the state, while 24,205 patients have recovered. The total cases now stand at 26,576 and the active cases at 1,112. A slight uptick in new COVID-19 cases was seen on Sunday, with 41,157 more people testing in the last 24 hours. According to the Union Health Ministry data, the number is 7.4% higher than the day before. The cumulative case load in the country now stands at 3,11,06,065. Further, the daily fatalities have further declined, with 518 more people succumbing to the disease. This has taken the death toll due to the coronavirus in India to 4,13,609. When it comes to vaccination, the country on this Saturday crossed another milestone, with the total number of doses administered crossing 4 crore mark. Nagaland has released fresh guidelines of odd-even formula as per the vehicles movement is concerned. This was conveyed by Deputy Commissioner of Kohima, Grigory Tejawala, who informed that odd-even system for movement of private vehicles to continue. It has been implemented under Kohima Municipal Area as per Section 115 of the Motor Vehicles Act 1988 on all days except Sundays as mentioned hereunder. On Mondays, Wednesday and Friday, odd number vehicles to ply only vehicles with registration number ending with odd number 1, 3, 5, 7 and 9 shall be allowed to ply on Tuesday, Thursday and Saturday vehicles with even number to ply only the registration number ending with even numbers 2, 4, 6, 8, 0 shall be allowed to ply. It was also mentioned that violation of this restriction order will be liable to be penalized under Section 177 and 179 of the Motor Vehicles Act 1988. The order is to be implemented with immediate effect and shall remain enforced till 1st August 2021 for the strict compliance of all concerned. The rains are back, and with it are the worries of Lumti residents as water stagnation of the street and road is making difficult for the people living in the locality. And after the recent spell of downpour, the condition of the road are worsening. Nagaland TV today went on to do ground report on the worsening condition of Lumti Colony Road. Come, let us look at the inside of the ground report made by the reporter.
Lumti Colony Road gets massively flooded during rainy seasons. Lack of proper drainage system and footpath causes waterlogging. Public suffering from government's apathy.
Nagaland TV kan report paisile Lumti Colony jala rasta te toile pani bishi joma hoina thake goina. तो आमी कान ग्राउंड रिपोर्ट चेक करूबले कारणे एते आइसिले तो आफनी कान भिडिओ ते देखि आछे रास्ता दोइले पूरा पानी पूरा बन हो जाइसे फिशरी निसना हो जाइसे आरो गाड़ी खान मानु खान बेसी दुख पाला आमी खान देखि आछे ते एभरी पानी गिरा टाइम तेनेका थाके
हराय दिन थाके पानी होले হয়
आरो
এরকম তো বানাইলে ইমান ভাল পড়া না বানা তো
হয়
Nagaland suffers every year due to bad road condition and poor drainage system, and it only gets worse during the rainy season. The formation of large potholes becomes dangerous for two-wheelers and even for the four-wheelers as well. During the rainy season, the roads serves as a drain and makes it difficult to even walk, as there is no place for pedestrians to walk.
বেশি দুঃখ পায় তো আরে পানি জমা হওয়া তো হলে রাস্তা ফালে গাড়ি বেরাবো না পারা হয়েছে তো মানুষ কেনেকে যাব এটাই আছে তো বেশি দুঃখ আছে তো পানিতে বেরাতো
বেশি দুঃখ পাই আছে তখন কমসে কম গভর্নমেন্ট চাব লাগে তখন হয় কিবা চাই কিনে তখন ঠিক কৰি দিব লাগে ইমান দিন পৰা মানুহ আহা যাওয়া কৰিব না পৰে গভৰ্ণমেণ্ট চাই কিনে এইটোখন কিবা ষ্টেপ ল'ব লাগে এইটোখন তো
As people opine, before construction of roads, the contractors must build proper drainage system and footpaths. As the locals express their resentment over the problems faced due to the poor execution of road and drain construction, they have demanded the government to look into the grievances of the people and to build better and proper roads at the earliest. When it comes to the neighboring states, state governments of the respective states proper initiative in the development of constructing and maintaining proper roads in their state by investing huge sum of money for better road condition. Whereas in Nagaland, the roads constructed are too old and the government doesn't care the voices of the troubled Naga people protesting for better road conditions in Nagaland.
Nationalist Congress Party Chief Sharad Pawar met with Prime Minister Narendra Modi at the latter residence on Saturday. According to the reports, during the one-hour-long meeting, the veteran politician raised concern about the newly formed Ministry of Cooperation headed by Amit Shah and the farmers' issues. Apart from meeting, the PM Pawar wrote a letter flagging concern on the Ministry of Cooperation. He further went on to mention that cooperative banking sector is a state subject, citing Supreme Court judgment. He said that any attempt of interference by the central will be a breach of the constitution. Pawar met PM Modi in connection with amendment by the Centre in Banking Regulation Act to limit rights of cooperative bank. On Saturday, Uttar Pradesh government cancelled the Kanwar Yatra 3 days after the Supreme Court had taken suo motu cognizance of the state move to go ahead with the annual Yatra amid fears of the third waves of the pandemic. The apex court said it cannot allow Uttar Pradesh government to hold 100% physical Kanwar Yatra in view of COVID, stressing that the sentiment, including religious, are subservient to the rights to life. It has been learned that the Kanwar Sangh have cancelled the Kanwar Yatra this year on the appeal of the Uttar Pradesh government. Earlier, Uttarakhand government called off the Kanwar Yatra, citing fears expressed by the expert of a possible third wave of the pandemic and the risks posed by such gathering. Jeff Bezos, the richest person in the world, is set to join the astronaut club on Tuesday on the first crew launch by his own company, Blue Origin. The crew will spend a few minutes beyond the Kármán line, the internationally recognized boundaries between Earth's atmosphere and space. Bezos founded Blue Origin back in 2000 with the goal of one day building floating space colonies with artificial gravity, where millions of people will work and live. Joining Bezos on the fully autonomous flight will be barrier-breaking female aviator Wally Funk, who at 82 is said to be the oldest ever astronaut. Dutch teenager Oliver Diamond, the company's first paying customer, who will become the youngest astronaut. Rounding out the four-member crew is Jeff Bezos' brothers Mark, a financier who directs the Bezos Family Foundation and works as a volunteer firefighter. In gesture of respect, Google honored India's first female doctor, Kadambini Ganguly, with a doodle on her 160th birthday. Kadambini Ganguly was the first woman to be trained as a physician in India, and today's Google doodle, illustrated by Bengaluru-based guest artist Adrija Ghosh, features a sketch of Kadambini Ganguly in the backdrop of the Medical College Hospital. Ganguly, a vocal activist for women emancipation, a doctor and a freedom fighter, was born on 18 July 1861 in Bhagalpur of East Wales, British India, now located in Bangladesh. As the much-awaited Tokyo Olympics 2020 round the corner, the wrath of COVID is looming upon the athletes who have already reached Tokyo Olympics Games Village. 3 athletes have already tested positive for coronavirus in the Tokyo Olympic Village. According to the Games Organizing Committee, today It is the first instance of athletes staying at the village catching the infection. Their identities have not been revealed by the organizers. The third infected athlete is staying at the designated Games hotel. A total of 10 cases were detected, including 5 Games concerned personnel, 1 contractor and a journalist. According to the COVID-19 positive case list uploaded by the organizing committee, the total number of Games-related COVID cases have now risen to 55 as per the OC records. The organizer did not specify whether the 2 infected athletes staying at the village will be quarantined elsewhere. The development comes a day after a non-athlete at the village tested positive for the dreaded virus and was shifted out of the premises. Next report from Kargi Tekai, who will give us more information about the same. Hello, Gargi.
Yes, hi, Rovi.
Okay, so can you please give us more information about the Olympic Tokyo Games?
Yes, sure. We know that the Tokyo Olympics Games were scheduled for last year, but due to the pandemic, they got cancelled. And this year, they are to begin from 23rd of July. With that, it is being reported that at least 3 athletes have been COVID positive in the Tokyo Olympics village, but their identities have not been revealed yet. With that, we also know that India's strong 88 Olympics athletes bound contingent has reached Tokyo today morning, and coaches and athletes of at least 8 disciplines, badminton, archery, judo, table tennis, have reached Tokyo as of now. That is what is being reported. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Gargi. Heavy rains lashed Mumbai and its suburb for several hours starting from late yesterday night and went on to early this morning, leading to the flooded road and the suspensions of local trains. As many as 22 people have died in rain-related incident in Mumbai, Chimbur and Vikhroli area. As per BMC's, the city municipal body, NPCC submit.
At least 20 people died and several others were injured in the Mahul and Vikhroli area of Mumbai after incessant overnight rains caused houses to crumble and collapse in a landslide. The National Disaster Response Force said 4 to 5 houses have been affected by the landslide and at least 6 to 8 people are feared to be trapped in the rubble. While 10 bodies were retrieved by the Brihan Mumbai Corporation and fire brigade personnel before NDRF reached, 1 person was found dead later. Disaster Management Cell said the people were brought dead to Civic Run Rajawari Hospital and 2 were discharged after being treated for their injuries. The NDRF team present at the spot is carrying out a search and rescue operation. Incessant overnight rains threw parts of Mumbai out of gear on Sunday, with the city witnessing severe waterlogging, disruption of local train services and vehicular traffic. The India Meteorological Department has issued a red alert for Mumbai in the backdrop of heavy rains. Maharashtra Chief Minister Uddhav Thackeray on Sunday expressed grief over the deaths. The Chief Minister also announced that the government would pay rupees 5 lakh each to their kins and the deceased and offer free treatment to the injured.
ज़्यादा बारिश हर जगह हुए, खास करके ये इस इलाके में एमवेस्ट एमईस्ट में यही बात है कि जो अभी हमारे साथ नहीं है, जो कल हमसे निकल गए, उनको हम 5 लाख दे रहे हैं, जो इंजर्ड है उनका जो खर्चा हम उठा रहे हैं.
Meanwhile, PM Modi said in a tweet, rupees 2 lakh each from PM NRF would be given to the next of kin of those who lost their lives due to wall collapses in Mumbai, and rupees 50,000 would be given to those injured. National Desk, Nagaland TV.
The state of Nagaland has been seeing an upsurge of prices of essential commodities along with gas and fuel, because of which the people are in a state of distress. The Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee has therefore decided to stage a signature campaign as a sign of protest against the same. We have a report.
Petrol, diesel and LPG should be rolled back to 2014 baseline.
NPCC workers cycled to the governor's residence to submit memorandum. Party demands price reduction of fuel, gas and essential commodities. Common people heavily burdened by the rising prices.
मैले त्यहाँ देखियो परे चाहिँ त्यो कांग्रेस कमिटी नागाल्यान्ड प्रदेश कांग्रेस कमिटी कन्द तन साइक्लिङ गरिकिन हेरे त्यहाँ गभर्नर लगा रेसिडेन्स लगा भाडे चाहिँ त्यो क्यामेरा पर्सन क्रेभिली लोरे चाहिँ ताइबा देखाउ त.
It seems that the Congress is coming hard at the Rio government over the price hike issue that is taking a toll on laymen. The NPCC therefore has demonstrated protest in Kohima and slammed the ruling government for not taking necessary action to control the price of essential commodities, gas and fuel, which is one of the major issues prevailing across the state.
They will continue to tax, but we have to represent the people. Therefore, we have come here to place our demand that petrol, diesel and LPG should be rolled back to 2014 baseline. That is what we want. We have secured online signature was about 777, I think, and offline was 7,000, but it's more than 7,000.
Nagaland Pradesh Congress Committee President K. Theri, while speaking to Nagaland TV, informed that the state government is looting the commoners by hiking prices of gas, fuel and essential commodities. And in lieu of this, the NPCC has conducted a signature campaign to protest against the same. K. Theri also informed that more than 17,000 online and 7,000 online signatures have been received from the people all over the state.
Whether it is opposition, ruling, businessman, any layman don't like the price high. It's unreasonable, madness. How can a society, common people be taxed like this? Well, the second course of action we will decide. I have not taken any decision as yet. The second two other demands we are going to place, that is the state government should constitute immediately independent pricing commission.
The rising prices in the state has been causing a lot of hardship for the commoners. People have expressed their disappointment against the government and have demanded the prices to be reduced. K. Theri hopes that the joint effort of NPCC and citizens would bring a positive change on this matter. At this time of crisis given the pandemic, the people of Nagaland are facing the wrath of excessive price hike of gas, fuel and other essential commodities. The NPCC, taking the hardship faced by the people, have organized the signature campaign.
Assam police on Saturday apprehended 4 officials of the Board of Secondary Education (SEBA) in connection with a cash for marks scam. Kanpur District Inspector of School (IS) Madhav Dekha, SEBA Coordinator Pulpahi Nath is Officer Grade 3, Employee Prashanta Das and Grade 4 Employee Sibeswar Kalitao were apprehended during the raid. It was informed that several laptops, mobiles, phones and documents have been seized from the office of the Inspectorate of School. According to the report, the police also seized a considerable amount of cash during the operation. Assam government on June 18 declared to scrap the final exam of class 10 and 12 due to the COVID situation in the state.
ISOR office of Talasi Solateo, Hami. কিছু আপত্তিজনক নথি পত্ৰ জব্দ কৰিবলৈ সক্ষম হওঁ য'ত নেকি টেবুলেশ্যন চিট আছিলে দুবাৰ তিনিবাৰকৈ সাবমিট কৰা আৰু তাত তেওঁলোকৰ বিসংগতি ধৰা পৰে আৰু সেই টেবুলেশ্যন চিট নথি পত্ৰ ল্যাপটপ আমি সিজ কৰিছো।
In a fight against drugs, Assam Chief Minister Himanta Biswa Sarma on Sunday drove road roller and had destroyed a total of 58,000 cis cough syrup during the drugs disposal program. In Nagaland, Barhampur, other cis contraband items including 9,733 kg heroin, 977 kg opium, 253 kg ganja and 2,71,908 tablets worth rupees 36 crore were also burned in the program. During the program, Sharma said that the blazing flame of the seized drugs displayed the government's commitment of drugs mukta Assam. He further added that the government shall not tolerate Assam being used as a transit road for psychotropic substances and the youth falling prey to contraband drugs in seized drugs disposal program. At Hojai, the CM destroyed 353.63 grams heroin, 736.73 kg ganja and 45,843 tablets. The illegal cough syrup and drugs were seized from different parts of Assam. Minister Piyush Hazarika, Kishap Mahanta, MLA Jitu Goswami, MLA Rupuk Sharma, MLA Shashi Kanta Das and DGP Assam Police Bhaskar Jyoti Mahanta were present in the drugs disposal program. Ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament, which begins tomorrow, the central government today held an all-party meeting to seek support of political parties to ensure smooth functioning of both the houses of Parliament. The meeting was attended by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and floor leaders of various political parties. Beside Modi, some of the other leaders present were Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Union Minister and leaders of House in Rajya Sabha Piyush Goyal and Parliamentary Affairs Minister Prahlad Joshi. The monsoon session of Parliament will start from tomorrow and is scheduled to conclude on August 13th. On the first day of the session, the Prime Minister will introduce the newly inducted minister to both the houses. So this is all for today. For more updates, keep watching Nagaland TV.